walked out of the hospital into the arms of his brothers and sisters in blue. And this was one of the best sights I've seen in a long time for something like this.
I want to bring in Jamie, former sheriff's detective and investigator. We've also got the live shot from the park there still up while we are looking and waiting for the arrival of Deputy Rivera. Jamie, first of all, we've been talking about this show of support for the deputy, and we're seeing it in so many different ways, from folks out there at the scene, from folks who have stepped up to help the family in so many ways, as we also look at the video of Deputy Rivera getting on that helicopter just a little bit ago. How ingrained is that that brotherhood, that sisterhood, when we're talking about law enforcement in the aftermath?
Thank God this deputy walked out. But listen, you're watching something very unique. It's the machine of the men and women in law enforcement coming together for one of their own to this time not pay respects, but to celebrate. Garrett,
Yeah, I thought it was striking to hear, one of his colleagues saying they're thankful that this is an escort home instead of a funeral procession, because, I mean, honestly, Jamie, I know you've been following this, you know the details of this case. It sounded like this was very close to, being a situation where this might have been a funeral procession today.
You know, the freshest thing and unfortunate is the deputies in Lake County. They were ambushed, and that certainly played out a lot different than what we're seeing here. And it's just, he's so blessed to have that sister and brotherhood in blue to be surrounded by, because here's the other thing. He was shot. He was shot twice, right? Walked out of the hospital with a little bit of assistance. But the good news is you see what's happening. That's his support mechanism. That's his work family that has kicked in gear and came together to escort him home. So, thank God for Mike Chitwood, class act. He showed up with a helicopter, and, Rivera's getting that first-class treatment, if you will, and as he well deserves.
Yeah.
These men and women are celebrating. They're celebrating the life of Deputy Rivera. But more importantly, Garrett, they're also celebrating they're not going to have to go to a funeral and go through that type of escort. We've always seen that line of officers outside of that hospital, and it's a grim view, right? When these deputies are fatally wounded, or these officers are fatally wounded. And this time it's opposite. We see lines and lines of deputies. But here's something else, Garrett. We're seeing the community come out. And, the machine is working as the machine does. Garrett, I don't know how it works, but it just starts crawling and grinding out help and assistance and support. And it's just amazing as to what the community can do in terms of giving back to Officer Rivera. They're coming out with greeting cards. We saw the fire department. It's just all kinds of community leaders and citizens coming out supporting this deputy at a crucial time of him being released from the hospital.